Imagine having so much money that it could change lives forever. Now imagine choosing not to leave that money to your own child. That's exactly what Simon Cowell, the famous music and TV producer, has done. With an estimated fortune of $600 million, you'd expect his family to be celebrating their future. But instead, Simon's decision about his wealth has left many in shock, and some in tears. This isn't just a story about money, it's a story about values, choices, and what it really means to leave behind a legacy. Simon Cowell didn't just become rich overnight. His story is filled with ups and downs, huge risks, and bold decisions. From nearly going bankrupt in the 1980s to creating some of the world's biggest talent shows, Simon has built an empire that stretches across the globe. But even with all his success, he now believes that simply handing over money isn't the right thing to do. Instead, he wants to do something very different, and that decision has touched his family in a deep, emotional way. Before we dive into the emotional part, let's understand how Simon made this huge fortune in the first place. Because this story begins not with a pile of cash, but with failure, struggle, and a dream that refused to die. Long before the fame, the sharp suits, and the private jets, Simon Cowell was just another guy trying to make it in the music business. In the early 1980s, he worked with small record companies like E&S Music and later Fanfare Music. For a moment, it looked like he might make it big. In 1986, he helped release a hit song by Sonata called So Macho. But just 3 years later, everything fell apart. His company went bankrupt in 1989. He found himself owing the bank nearly £500,000, a huge amount back then. He even lost his beloved Porsche and had to move back in with his parents. That time in his life was very hard. He went from feeling successful to almost having nothing. But Simon didn't give up. He believed in his talent and started fresh. He joined BMG, a large music company, where he worked behind the scenes to find new stars. He created a label called S Records and signed a duo named Robson and Jerome, who had a massive hit with Unchained Melody. That song stayed at #1 in the UK for 7 weeks and sold millions. It was Simon's first big success, and it made him his first million. From there, he worked with other famous groups like Five and Westlife. This success in music helped him rebuild his career and set the stage for something even bigger, his move into television. Simon Cowell became a household name when he joined Pop Idol in the UK in 2001. But it was American Idol in 2002 that truly made him famous around the world. His honest, often harsh feedback made him one of the most talked about judges on television. Some people loved him, others thought he was too mean, but everyone was watching. In the beginning, Simon earned $8 million per season. But as his fame grew, so did his paychecks. By 2005, he was making $36 million per season, and later, he was reportedly offered $45 million. Still, Simon chose to walk away from American Idol after earning at least $24 million from the show. But he wasn't done yet. In 2004, he launched the X Factor under his own company called Psycho. He later created the Got Talent franchise, which includes America's Got Talent and Britain's Got Talent. These shows became global hits, airing in dozens of countries and making him even richer. In just 1 year, between 2012 and 2013, he made around $75 million from the X Factor alone. His company, Psycho Entertainment, became a powerhouse. He also partnered with Sony Music, which bought part of Psycho in 2005. But in 2020, Simon made a big move. He bought back Sony's stake in the TV part of the company, giving him full control over the shows. Sony kept the music side, but Simon now owned all the rights to the hit talent shows. It was a smart move that kept him at the top of the entertainment world. With all this money, it's no surprise that Simon Cowell lives a life of luxury. His homes are just as impressive as his career. For many years, he lived in a beautiful mansion in Holland Park, London, worth £45 million. But after a series of scary incidents, including a burglary while his family was home, he decided to sell it in 2023. He had already spent £500,000 on security, but it wasn't enough. So, he moved with his partner Lauren Silverman and their son Eric to a quieter home in the countryside. Simon also owns a stunning mansion in Malibu, California, right by the ocean. It has everything you'd expect: huge windows, a private tennis court, and a garage filled with supercars. This house is estimated to be worth between $24 million and $32 million. He also loves spending holidays in Barbados. He often stays in a 10-bedroom villa called Cove Spring House, which features a private beach, a cinema, and a gym. Though it's not confirmed he owns it, he has shown strong interest in buying a home there. Whether it's in London, Malibu, or Barbados, Simon's taste for beautiful, high-end properties is clear. These homes show a different side of Simon, someone who enjoys the finer things in life, not just hard work. Simon's love for luxury doesn't stop at houses. His car collection is one of the most impressive among celebrities. He owns vehicles that are not just expensive but also rare and powerful. His collection is estimated to be worth over $1.3 million. One of the most famous cars he owns is the Bugatti Veyron, which can cost over $1 million and goes from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 2.5 seconds. Then there's the Rolls-Royce Phantom, which is known for comfort and elegance. It costs at least $500,000 and is one of Simon's favorite cars for public events. He also owns a Rolls-Royce Ghost, a Silver Cloud 3, and several Ferraris, including the California 360, F430, and the 458 Italia. Each of these cars is a symbol of style and performance. Simon also owns Bentleys like the Continental GT in convertible, a Bentley Azure, and several classic Jaguars including the Jaguar XK120, F-Type Coupe, and the high-end Eagle Speedster, which can sell for over $2 million. He even owns a Lamborghini Urus and a Tesla Model S. Surprisingly, he also drives a small Smart For2 car, worth around $20,000, which shows he doesn't always need flash to enjoy the ride. These cars aren't just toys, they reflect Simon's love for speed, design, and mechanical beauty. They show a personal side of him that contrasts with the hard-nosed judge we see on TV. With such a massive fortune, most people would expect Simon to pass it all down to his son, Eric. But Simon has made a surprising decision: he's not leaving his fortune to his child. Instead, he plans to give it all to charity. This choice has left many fans, and possibly his own family, in shock. In an interview, Simon explained that he doesn't believe in just handing down money from one generation to another. He believes people should earn their own success. He once said, "I don't believe in that passing on from one generation to another. Your legacy has to be that hopefully you gave enough people an opportunity, so that they could do well, and you gave them your time." For Simon, giving back means more than leaving behind wealth. He wants to help children, animals, and people in need. Over the years, he has supported many charities. He is vice president of Shooting Star Children's Hospices and a patron of Together for Short Lives. He's also helped causes like the Katie Piper Foundation for Burn Victims, animal shelters like Battersea Dogs and Cats Home, the RSPCA, and PETA. He's raised money for Great Ormond Street Hospital and victims of the 2010 Haiti earthquake. Simon believes that his true legacy should be about kindness and opportunity, not money. Even though his son Eric changed his life in many ways, Simon stands by his decision to donate his fortune to causes that need it more. It's a choice that speaks volumes about what he values most. In 2014, Simon Cowell became a father for the first time when his partner Lauren Silverman gave birth to their son, Eric. Simon has said that becoming a dad completely changed his view on life. He once admitted, "I looked at life in a completely different way." After seeing Eric's first baby scan, he became literally obsessed. Everything he does now, he says, he thinks of Eric first. So why would a man who loves his son so much decide not to leave him a fortune? The answer is complicated but meaningful. Simon wants Eric to build his own path. He believes that giving him money would take away the motivation to succeed on his own. Instead, Simon hopes to teach his son the importance of hard work, kindness, and giving back. It's a rare choice, especially in the world of fame and riches, where most celebrities try to protect their wealth for their children. Simon's decision shows that his values go beyond money. He wants to be remembered not just for creating global TV hits or driving million-dollar cars, but for making a difference in people's lives. In the end, Simon Cowell's story isn't just about how he made his millions, but about how he plans to use them. Whether you agree with his decision or not, one thing is clear: his legacy will be one that goes far beyond money. When someone as wealthy as Simon Cowell announces that he won't be leaving his fortune to his own child, it naturally raises questions about how his loved ones feel. While Simon has publicly explained his reasoning, it's not hard to imagine that his decision could bring mixed emotions to those closest to him. For his partner, Lauren Silverman, and their son, Eric, this may not be an easy thing to accept. Even though Simon is deeply involved in Eric's life and appears to be a devoted father, the idea that Eric may grow up without inheriting the wealth his father worked so hard to build could be confusing and hurtful. It's likely that Simon and Lauren have talked about this at length. Perhaps Lauren understands and supports his desire to teach Eric values like hard work, humility, and independence. But that doesn't mean it's easy. Many families experience tension when it comes to inheritance, even more so when the fortune involved is hundreds of millions of dollars. From the outside, fans might wonder, does this mean Simon doesn't trust his son? Or is he simply trying to give Eric something better than money, like purpose and pride? The truth is, Simon seems to be aiming for something deeper than just a financial legacy. He wants Eric to create his own path, to feel the satisfaction of building a life and making his own choices, rather than relying on money he didn't earn. Simon Cowell has always been a public figure who sparks strong opinions. His decision not to pass on his fortune has, unsurprisingly, stirred up conversation online. Some fans admire him for making such a bold and meaningful choice. They see it as a message to wealthy people everywhere that money should be used to help others, not hoarded by a few. Supporters say Simon is setting a good example by choosing charity over comfort, and by focusing on making a difference in the world. But others disagree. Some feel that family should always come first, and that a man's greatest responsibility is to ensure his children are financially protected. Critics argue that even if Simon wants Eric to learn the value of hard work, he could still leave something behind as a safety net. After all, many rich parents find ways to balance both, offering life lessons while also providing some financial support. On social media, the reactions have been split. Some praise Simon for being a man of strong beliefs. Others question whether this decision might be more hurtful than helpful in the long run. Whatever people think, one thing is clear: Simon Cowell has started a conversation that goes far beyond celebrity gossip. He's made people think about what truly matters: money or meaning, inheritance or impact. Eric's birth about giving his money to charity was based on a strong belief in self-made success and helping others. Yet after Eric came into his life, he spoke about a profound shift in his feelings and priorities. The lingering question, the source of the potential tears in the title, is whether his heart, softened by fatherhood, has led him to change his mind about his will, or if his long-held principles about inherited wealth will ultimately win out, leaving Eric without a direct inheritance from his vast fortune. This creates an emotional tension that hangs over the future of his wealth. Adding another layer to this complex picture are the rules around inheritance tax in the UK, where Simon has many assets. For very large fortunes, the tax rate can be as high as 40% on anything over a certain amount. However, this rate can be reduced to 36% if 10% of the estate's value is given to charity. Using legal arrangements called trusts can also help reduce the tax bill. While Simon's main reason for his inheritance plans is his personal belief, the tax benefits of giving to charity are a real and practical consideration for anyone with a huge amount of money. Simon Cowell's life is a reminder that fame and fortune are only part of the story. What you choose to do with your success says more about you than how you earned it. While many celebrities are remembered for their careers, Simon may be remembered for something far more powerful: his decision to give back. His work with charities, his commitment to helping children and animals, and his belief in building a better future all show that his heart is in the right place. Even though he built his empire on finding the next big star, he now seems focused on something even bigger, leaving behind a world that's just a little bit better than the one he came into. That might not be what fans expected from the man once known for his harsh words and serious face. But maybe that's what makes it so powerful. Beneath the tough exterior, Simon Cowell has proven that he's also a man of deep thought, surprising compassion, and big dreams, not just for himself, but for everyone else too.